Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I want to talk more about bleaching hypocrisy and about how people try to use the term brown skinned to gaslight. Okay, so I don't have a problem with people calling themselves brown skinned. I just feel like the term brown skin, that's more of a nickname that people use for themselves. So they'll be like, oh, I'm brown, or like, I'm nutmeg, I'm cinnamon, I'm caramel, I'm yellow. They'll use all of these nicknames to describe their own skin tones. But one agenda that a lot of black women try to use against the exotical space is they just try to throw everybody into the brown skin category. So if I'm talking about colorism, they suddenly call everybody brown. So for example, when I made a video about Doja Cat not that long ago, people are like, oh, Doja Cat's not light skinned, she's brown. And then when I made the video about Pinky Doll recently, I had somebody in my comment section say, Pinky Doll is not dark, she's brown. So it's like, okay, if all light skinned people are brown and all dark skinned people are brown, you're essentially saying that colorism doesn't exist because you're trying to imply that basically we're all the same and we all have the exact same experiences, which we know to be false. So why is it that suddenly, with the existence of the exotical space, now everybody's just brown? Everybody's just brown skinned. Everybody's all the same color. Coco Jones and Doja Cat are the same color because they're both brown. Do you see the gaslighting there? But for the person who said that Pinky Doll is not dark skinned and that she's quote unquote brown or like some sort of caramely type of color, I went ahead and pulled up Pinky Doll's Getty images. Okay, so I'm going to show probably about a dozen or so Getty images, and we're going to go ahead and compare her to the color caramel, which is the color that some people are trying to argue that Pinky Doll is naturally. So if you look at her skin complexion, we all know as melanated people that those with dark skin, their skin absorbs light. So it doesn't reflect the light back. Dark skin absorbs the light. So if you look at her photos and you compare her to Carmel versus comparing her to other dark skinned women such as Kelly Rowland and Lupita Nyong'o, who do you think she has more similarities with? So to go from dark skin to literally beige or like a golden ivory complexion on your TikTok filters, that is absolutely a form of utilizing TikTok to make yourself appear light-skinned. I said what I said. I've never seen somebody Lupita Nyong'o's color pass the paper bag test on TikTok and then say, oh, well, no, I'm just brown. That's just what happens to brown skin. No, that is scientifically false. That is actually not what happens to brown skin. That is not what happens to deeply melanated skin tones, and you know that. So have you guys noticed how whenever it's a light-skinned woman like Beyonce will look a half a shade lighter, she'll look 2 shades lighter, and boom, she's a bleacher. She wants to be white. They have all this smoke for light-skinned women and how light-skinned women use their social media. But suddenly, when I point out the fact that women like Pinky Doll and Kelly Rowland look extremely different, and Serena Williams as well, when I point out that they look like totally different people, suddenly people want to try to use the brown skin terminology to pretend that you can go from Lupita Nyong'o's color to high yellow. When anybody who's black or of black descent knows that that's not how melanin works. According to ChatGPT, it says that a person's natural tan depth is limited by their skin type and melanin production, meaning that there's a maximum level of darkness their skin can achieve through sun exposure alone. So if Pinky Doll were naturally this high yellow ivory color, her skin type would not even be the same as somebody like Lupita Nyong'o. Have any of you guys in the comment section ever met someone, Lauren London's color, who's able to tan to Lupita Nyong'o's color? Because I haven't. I've never seen that. And according to science, that is not how melanin works. And the same is true in reverse. Have you ever seen someone Lupita Nyong'o's color suddenly turn to Lauren London's color in the winter? Because that's another excuse that a lot of women use when they're trying to protect dark-skinned women who are lightening their skin. I just find it so interesting how you're going out of your way to protect dark-skinned women who are lightening their skin, whether it's in filters or a surgery or whatever. So you're trying to protect them, but then when it comes to somebody like Beyonce, you want to expose her. You want to try to make her feel bad or make her feel ashamed, or you want to cancel her, or women like Rihanna. In fact, now that I've been on YouTube for about 4 years now, there is not one light-skinned woman in the industry that has not been accused of bleaching. We now have this all on record in real time. I've got over 800 videos on this YouTube channel. So they have a pattern of accusing literally everyone who's light skinned, no matter how light skinned you are. You could be a caramel light skin, you could be golden light skin, you could be a beige light skin, doesn't matter. They literally accuse every single light skinned person of bleaching, but suddenly, when it's a dark skinned, unambiguous black woman, they make every excuse in the book as to how she can go from Lupita Nyong'o's color to being high yellow. And when it comes to Getty Images are like unedited photos that people take on the red carpet. So please explain to me, how is it that when she's in Getty Images or when she's seen in person, she literally matches complexions with women like Viola Davis, Lupita Nyong'o, and Kelly Rowland before Kelly Rowland became light skinned, but then suddenly on TikTok, it's giving Lauren London in a 613 wig. That's not how melanin works from a scientific perspective. And another thing I've noticed too is that they accuse light-skinned women of using filters to make ourselves look lighter, but notice how they never acknowledge when a light-skinned woman wants to actually look darker, because they do have filters, and like there are different ways that you can edit your photos and stuff to make you actually look darker. We see this all the time with models. We see this all the time with women in the industry. Some women who do this all the time are women like Lori Harvey, Rihanna, Beyonce. Like pretty much every light-skinned woman has some photos where she looks lighter and some photos where she looks more richly melanated. That's a normal part of photography. So it's like you can accept the fact that photography varies depending on lighting when it comes to dark-skinned women. You know that for a fact. Like, oh, it's just the lighting, or oh, she's just been in the sun, or oh, she hasn't been in the sun, or oh, she took this picture in the shade and then she took the other picture in the sunlight, or she's just using this filter and that made her look more dark-skinned and now she looks more quote-unquote brown. So you understand all the nuances of photography and lighting when it comes to Serena Williams, when it comes to Pinky Doll, when it comes to Kelly Rowland. But suddenly, when it's a light-skinned woman, you don't understand how they could look different in different lighting or at different times of the year, or depending on the campaign or the brand they're working with. So do you see the extreme hypocrisy? Dark-skinned women are allowed to change their appearance. They're allowed to look as different as they want to in their pictures and filters. But then if you're light-skinned and you look any different, even if it's just slightly different, they will accuse you of being self-hating and you're just trying to look light-skinned. Meanwhile, there are plenty of light-skinned women on this channel who can vouch for the fact that a lot of light-skinned women, we like to use filters and stuff that make us look more tan. Because it's actually a good way to give yourself a nice tan look on your social media without damaging your skin. Because according to ChatGPT, and I just pulled up the screenshot, I can pull it up again. According to your actual skin type, there's only so much melanin you actually have. So, no, you cannot go from Lauren London's color to Lupita Nyong'o's color naturally. You absolutely have to be editing your photos or editing your TikToks or straight up bleaching in order to have that much of a skin tone change. I said what I said. But what do you ladies think? Have you ever noticed this hypocrisy and the way that they try to defend and protect dark-skinned black women who look different in their complexions, but they don't keep the same energy for light-skinned women? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.